Yo, people, welcome back to the channel. And we are here to talk a bit about Bayern Munich. Of course, a team outside of the Premier League, but a team that has got, of course, heritage in the Champions League and in Europe all round. So we'll talk a bit about them. Of course, we all know what happened last season with my manager, Tommy Tuchel. Um, and of course, talk a bit about new signings coming in. Now, Vincent Company is at the helm. But I'm gonna do the talking. I'm gonna do the asking. Because we've got Mr. Bayern Munich on with us. Ahmad, right from Saudi Arabia. How are you, bro?
Up, man. But I'm doing good, man. I mean, I'm not even really at home. I'm in another city in Saudi, Etihad Ahli city, I mean, Jeddah. Lovely Jeddah, It's humid, though. Unlike Riyadh, it's very dry. But, yeah, doing good, man. Doing good.
Good to hear. Good to hear. Um, and we will, unfortunately for you, start on a negative. And talk a bit about last season. Um, of course, Hurricane scored 40 goals, 30
42. Yeah,
plus goals.
42 in all comps, and the Bayern, yeah.
Um, but it was your first trophy this season since what, 2012?
Yeah, funny enough, you beat us in the final as well, which is annoying, but
Yeah, of course, of course. Uh, um, but yeah, so 12. Yeah, jeez, that's 13. 12, 13, 13, 14, 14,
11
15,
years.
15, 16. No, man,
11 years, yeah,
that
man.
must that must suck. Um, so just overall thoughts. Like, of course, I know you were heavily uh Tommy Tuchel must go. Um,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I thought you were gonna say I was heavy Tuchel. I was gonna be, yo, this guy trying to sabotage me or something. Say Tuchel in, but no, yeah, I was Tuchel out. Yeah, man. Let's, you know what it is actually. Um, thing is, right? With Tuchel, when he first joined, I was like, is he joining to, you know, because obviously the whole idea was when Nagelsmann got sacked, there was like a whole issue, right? And then all of a sudden they sacked him. But the thing is, I thought we were gonna be competing with Nelsman regardless of all the issues. You know what I mean? But they were looking at all their troubles. We're getting too many draws, not enough wins. But we only lost like 3 games under Nelsman that season, and then he gets sacked. Tuchel joins, and then we just start losing. I mean, our second game, DFB Pokal, we already get eliminated to, I believe it was Freiburg. Was it Freiburg? I forgot who it was. But we already got eliminated. You know what I mean? At the Allianz Arena. So, and then a week later, we play Man City in the Champions League and we get destroyed. And then we start losing games in the Bundesliga, and Dortmund are like, overtaking us. But then they choke and we overtake them. And at the end, they drew and we won, and Musiala saved us because of it. So it's just, yeah, we were very lucky in that regard. Oliver Kahn got sacked for the sacking and hiring of Tuchel. Same with Salihamidzic, since they both take responsibility anyway. But nobody, and I made this mistake as a Bayern fan as well. I didn't take into account the responsibility that Uli Hoeneß should be taking. So we basically have like this thing where you have the manager or the head coach, whatever. Then you have the directors. Then you have the board, and then you have the supervisory board, right? So the supervisory board are like the legends of the club. You can never get rid of them. It's like Uli Hoeneß, Karl-Heinz Rummenigge, etc. You know what I mean? And those guys, they really like to. I mean, especially Hoeneß. They really love to make. This guy really loves to make decisions for, Bayern. And it's come to a stage where like it's has a toll on him. You know what I mean? So you just have to let the directors take control. And when we got Indrisen, who's our CEO, which by the way, even his role as CEO is now in question for your information. Um, like he was just a complete yes man to Thomas Tuchel because obviously you have to back Tuchel all the way now that you fired Nalsman and all that stuff. That's what I was thinking during that window, and then when we got Kane and all that stuff, and it come to a point where we weren't doing bad. Like you had players perform, like even Zane, by the way, he was actually cooking in the beginning of the season, and then just out of nowhere, a lot of these players just started not performing, and Tuchel even choked that game in the Pokal against some third division team, Saarbrücken.
Yeah, yeah,
Imagine.
fifth
Yeah, it was.
division team he lost. Mad.
Yeah, and I was thinking at the time, like you paid you and Dreesen decided to pay 100 million euros for Harry Kane, plus 20 million added if we were to win anything, and you leave Kane on the bench. You know what I mean? Like it just don't make sense. Like I know it's Saarbrücken, but you're drawing 1-1, bro. At 70. Like you get your striker in. He didn't want to do that. We lost eventually because obviously we could have got some goal or something out of Kane in that type of game, but didn't happen. Anyways, we continue and we start getting performances, and then later on we lose to Bayern Leverkusen. And I remember that game, Tuchel tried outclassing Alonso, and he absolutely choked that. Like I remember Sasha Bowie, he first joined, he came off the bench in the first game. I forgot who it was against, and then I think it was Gladbach actually. And then we play Leverkusen, and he's playing him left
Mhm.
wing back when he never even played there before, just so he can try. It just didn't make sense, bro. And like
Mm.
there were so many things wrong. Even the Dyer signing, by the way, when we got him, I was like, how are we doing getting him? I mean, I know he didn't play too bad, but he only didn't play too bad once Ligt was next to him. And beforehand, he was playing next to the likes of Upamecano, bro. You know what I mean? And Upamecano, guess what? He was the guy within the span of those 3 games that we lost, which was Leverkusen, Lazio, and Bochum, got 2 red cards in 2 games. You know what I mean?
Madness, madness, man.
Yeah,
Crazy.
exactly.
Mm.
Exactly, bro. So it's just one of those, man, where at some stage we had fans protesting outside of the training ground, Strasse, and they were like protesting about how De Ligt don't get opportunities and all that, and Tuchel should be sacked and everything. And then Tuchel gets, obviously he agrees with the board that he's going to leave. And once that happens, for some reason, there's a whole complete shift. It's like now everybody feels like they're free to play football. None of this like defensive BS, with like this. It's like what it is. It's like he played like a. It's not like with you guys where he had like three, four, five at the back. With us, it was like
Yeah.
four at the back, but played defensive. It was so weak, and it wasn't even like a Simeone style 4-4-2 defense. It was just like 4-2-3-1, but you're still trying to play like defense, and you'll press like in few moments. Like it was so awkward. Like there was
Act-
no identity in his game. You know what I mean? And well,
no,
his
it.
player identity.
Yeah. Sounds.
You know what I mean? It's just, but again, once we played Arsenal, and obviously Arsenal fans, they like to get giddy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
like.
yeah. And then obviously we had no fans at the Emirates against them, and we drew against them. And then in our ground, usually we have tifos. I'm pretty sure like we usually have
Mm.
tifos, like since we're the heritage sides, right? Like so, our ultras usually have like heritage type tifos. Against Arsenal, we had flares, man, because we were pissed. Our fans were pissed at UEFA and Arsenal fans for all the banning and the chatting. You know what I mean? Like Bayern
Yeah.
fans even went. By the way, they went to London and they had a banner saying we're gonna be at Wembley anyway, but that didn't go to plan. Obviously Madrid ruined that for us. But after we beat Arsenal, it's like there was a whole shift. Like even the fan base started wanting Tuchel to stay all of a sudden. It's like, and like the players started
Mm.
wanting to play for Tuchel and everything. It was mad. So obviously we're still not performing well because it's Tuchel coaching. Like come on, it's donkey. But against Madrid, for
That's.
some reason, it's like Madrid played a specific game and it kind of played to our hands. And then against Madrid in the second leg, first leg, but then the second leg, we actually didn't coach too bad of a game. And then Tuchel just made these subs and we just started losing. Some will say referee this, referee that. And it's just, wow. I actually think we lost the league from when we lost to Leverkusen. And then all we had to do is fight for the Champions League. So
Mm.
I think that also played
Yeah,
into our hands that we get to go.
I think
You know.
for me, I think you should have gone for, of course, in the Champions League, but that's Madrid for you. There, that's the Bernabeu for you. The
Yeah.
just intensity and everything. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
man.
the league. As soon as I think Leverkusen got past that 12-point mark, it was always going to be difficult for Bayern. Um,
Yeah, 100.
because of course, I think, but when Dortmund was supposed to win the league, what you chased 10-point gap down, I think,
Oh,
around
what the
that.
year prior?
Yeah, prior.
Yeah, I think earlier in the season they were ahead of us by 7 points, like halfway through the season, and then we
Mm.
somewhat caught
So
up for some reason, and then we were just neck and neck, and it was slightly ahead, but then obviously the Tuchel thing happened. Anyway,
yeah,
yeah,
then to happen. Um, but of course, you've now got Vincent Company, former Manchester City legend and uh, Burnley manager. Um, yes or no for you? And if no, who was your pick instead?
you know what it is for me. I will be really honest. I know you want a yes or no, but the thing is, actually, if you were asking me if I wanted him in the first place, no. However, Vincent Company is not the worst decision in the world. Um, I feel like with Company, it's one of those things. First of all, we got managers basically rejecting us left, right, and center. I don't know if you remember. So getting Company
Yeah,
was
yeah,
not the worst. It's not the worst decision in the world in the sense that like he's first of all an attacking minded like coach. You know what I mean? That's one thing. And secondly, to be fair, and I don't want to look into it too much, but it must mean a bit of something when our directors are, or even supervisory board, actually supervisory board members are making a call to Pep Guardiola and asking about Company, and he says what he thinks. You know what I mean? So, like, again, I don't want to look too much into it. I still think he needs to do the job. It's not like a guarantee he'll do anything. It's you know what it is with Bayern. I think it's a whole mystery. It could either go so right or so left. Um, because we haven't seen enough of this guy. And I think the Burnley thing that people look at, I feel like it's overdone because they don't get the context of what happened with Company at Burnley. Like when he was at Burnley in the Championship, and I believe you follow the Championship, right? So wasn't
yeah,
he wasn't he dominating the Championship before the
yeah.
Premier League?
It dominated the championship. I think Burnley got 100 points or got close to it. Um, but they won the league like with 3 game weeks to go. Um, like
Mm.
top eight, you can't catch them anymore. Mathematically, they were anyway. They were going to win, but mathematically was then decided.
Yeah. So imagine that happens, and then you go to the Premier League, and the first thing the Burnley board think of is like, I ain't signing no players. You know what I mean? Especially for a guy that has an attacking like philosophy like that. Like it just does not make sense. But I will say one thing about Company. I've heard that he's a very stubborn individual. I just hope he's stubborn when he needs to be. I don't want him to be overly stubborn to the point where like he makes the wrong calls and he overthinks things like Pep Guardiola does at times, and it costs us. And we don't need to be saying that. You know what I mean? So because I actually think with Company, if we don't win this, like at least the Bundesliga this season, the guy should be gone. Um, you know what I mean? Because I feel like I know people will say, "Oh, what if you won the Pokal and this is?" But the thing is, Bundesliga should be like a bare minimum. You know, it's not like when you win the Premier League, it's like, you know, what in the Premier League, when you compete for it and you win it, it's like it's a major thing because it's more competitive for you guys. I feel like for us, the fact that it's a Bundesliga, and I know the Bundesliga is getting better, but the fact that we're Bayern München, you know, like it should be a bare minimum that we win the Bundesliga convincingly, regardless. You get me? So
Mm.
I think we should be winning the Bundesliga, getting far in the Pokal, actually even winning it. To be honest, I'm not even gonna lie. I'm sick of tired of not taking that cup seriously. And Champions League, go as far as you can. Obviously, Champions League, we should be winning it, to be honest. But based on what club we are, we should be going for treble. We won two before, so why not again? But obviously, the Champions League is going to be the hardest one. But again, listen, if you win me the Bundesliga and you go far in the Pokal, you know, or win it, why not stay? But if you don't win the Bundesliga, man, you may as well bounce, man. I'm not even gonna lie to you, man. You know what I mean?
First,
Not, bro, I'm
first.
being serious, man.
Okay, first. Now, I think for Bayern, also I think you have to. I think you, of course, you are mostly fan owned, right? Um,
So 51% of the club, actually not 51. With Bayern, it's 75, I
yeah,
believe.
so
75%.
75% fan owned. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think it's a case of, for me, Bayern have to do some reshuffling upstairs. And then upstairs, if that's reshuffled, that goes down to the players. Almost similar to United, because I think you've got a few players that should not be there. For example, Upamecano. Um,
Goretzka, another name if you want to add.
yeah, yeah, Goretzka has been there forever now.
Nabry,
Um,
Coman, some people will say in our
yeah,
fan base as
Gan-
well.
yeah, Coleman, Gnabry, players that have
But
almost like got gone there to further their career, and they now on a downward spiral, like they're declining.
yeah, I hear you. Yes, 100%.
So I think you
Actually,
have
some of
to
the
change it up.
players. Yeah, sorry, man. Some of the players I mentioned, it's down. It's not really down to their quality. It's down to like them not being reliable enough. Like Coma and Nabri, like they're really not reliable enough to be around. But that's why we've gone for, like, obviously we're looking at Doué, and he looks like he's preferring Bayern over PSG, which I don't want to look too much into because again, look what happened with the Simmons thing, man. All of a sudden he preferred Bayern, and then turns up Leipzig. You know what I mean? So I'm not trying to look too much into that stuff, but and we obviously got Lise in, which by the way shocked me because I thought he was joining you guys or Man United, but
Yeah, but speaking on them, um, you signed Michael Elise, and I believe you signed somebody today as well, or
no,
um,
I don't think we signed anyone today.
or you were. I think you were close. When is it?
No, no, we're looking at Doué, but he agreed with
Yeah, that.
Bayern, but nothing. Yeah, that's what that one I was mentioning. Yeah, Doué. So basically, he's preferring Bayern, as I mentioned, but I don't want to look too much into that again because obviously with Bayern, we're taking a long time with signing players at this moment, just because the supervisory board mentioned that apparently we have to sell players in order to get players in because they're trying to manage the wages and the fees and all that stuff. You know what I mean? But
Mm,
but this is part of the reshuffling that you were talking about. So basically, now it's the directors making the decision, which is Max Erbel and Christoph Ruin, instead of Oli Hones and them guys in the supervisory board, which is the first step. Although I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Even though I like that he's gotten Olise, he's gotten Palinia, you know, I'm not happy
oh
with
yeah,
the
you
idea.
signed Palhinha as well. That's mad.
Yeah, yeah,
Shit.
and we needed Palinia 6, so I'm happy about
Yeah,
it. And he
you
wants
needed
to do us
Palhinha.
fantastic. And he got a cheaper deal than I thought because I was thinking you may as well pay the money for it. But my thing is though, is there are some players that he wants to let go that's questionable for me, and I get why in a way, but it's just I don't at the same time. For example, Matthias De Ligt, I wouldn't get rid of him to be honest. I think he's our best center back. But again, he wants to get rid of him because of his wages. So he earns 15 million euros a year. So that's I think around 200. Is it around 280,000 euros a week? I think. Let me search it. Calculate. I think it is. I forgot. Right, but it's around that range. And basically, he got injured a lot last season. Obviously, as you know.
Yeah.
So that's why they're looking to let him go. It's more like a risk. It's like if we let him go, then maybe get Jonathan Tah in for cheaper and he's more durable. maybe then we can rely on Tom more than rely on Ligt. That's what they're thinking in their minds, right? But
Mm,
is Jonathan Tah the type of centre back we're looking for to replace Matthias de Ligt, or should he be coming in to be replacing Upamecano? I think Upamecano should be going. You get what I mean? But they're looking at it more financially. We're looking at it more of like who's the better quality player. You know what I mean? That's the issue.
mm,
Uh, And then another thing is Mizraoui. I think Mizraoui should be getting an opportunity at Bayern, but again, they looking like they want. I mean, they don't want to give him an opportunity, so he's looking to go. Both of them, funny enough, look to Man United, and they both want to go. I think that Mizraoui already agreed terms with Man U. They left waiting on Man United. You know, um, you have as well. Who else am I missing? Oh, Joshua Kimmich. But I'm not gonna with Joshua Kimmich. It's more of on him kind of because. He wants to play in midfield. We can't guarantee him that because we have Pavlovic, we're trying to like let him grow, let him thrive in that position that Kimmich wants to play. So yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough, but it's also down to the wages as well with Kimmich because obviously this next contract is going to be the big one because the guys are at what 28, 29 years old. So with this board, like so many
mm.
things is a mystery right now, which is why I told you earlier it could go so right or so left. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Yeah, no, it can. It can. So, any new people, players you looking to get in? Oh,
Uh, Due is one. Jonathan Tah, as I mentioned earlier, as well. We renewed Stanisic's deal, so he's not joining Leverkusen, obviously. Um, what else? Is there anybody else that we would like? For some reason, at one point we were linked with Embolo, but we don't need to be dealing with that because we have Matista. We can use him as a backup striker. Because Choupo-Moting basically left, so they were looking at a backup striker. But we don't really need a backup striker. We can just have Matista take that role. There's also a young kid from Australia. I think you've heard of him. His name is Iran Kunda. That's a explosive kid to be looking out for. Uh, I would personally keep him in the first team, man. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't obviously
mm,
play him every week. But like maybe he comes off the bench, impact games. Why not, man? You know what I mean? I've seen young players do that nowadays. Why not give him a shot? You know what I mean? It's just one of them. But yeah, man, it's all question marks more than answers, man. With exclamation marks. That's what it is.
okay, fair enough. Um, but who's going? Of course, today we got the news that Manchester United submit a joint offer to sign Matthias de Ligt and Nusar Mazarawi from Bayern Munich.
Yes.
Opening bid rejected and Bayern request higher fee, but talks ongoing as United try to agree the deal. Um, First, of course, you already spoke about the let saying you don't think you should let him go. Mazarawi,
Yeah.
do you think
Zraoui,
he should
actually, same
go?
thing. No, I don't think he should, but he wants to go because obviously he's not going to get opportunities because our board is looking at it as in like we just extended Stanisic's deal. We have Sasha Bowie, which by the way, if obviously Mizraoui is looking to go, I would actually play Sasha Bowie since we want to have go all out attacking and all that stuff. But it's just a shame because Mizraoui can play right back. I was thinking maybe we can keep him and play him left back, especially if Davies is to go, but which by the way, I'm not gonna. The more Davies does not extend, that guy should be gone. I'm not even gonna lie to you. But our board again want to keep him because company wants him. Typical, man. And we're gonna let him go for free to Madrid. Just typical. But it's just one of them. I would have liked to see Mazraoui stay because he can offer a lot going forward. He can offer um, somewhat something defensively as well. The only issue with him, Mizraoui, and by the way, I see this for national team and Bayern because obviously I keep up in Morocco since I'm kind of Moroccan as well. He's very he can be rash at times with his tackles. He's like pretty reckless, and that in itself is kind of going to be an issue with Mania. But the good thing is you can play left back and right back, and that's partly because actually that's mainly because Hakimi for Morocco plays right back, so by default he had to move left back. So he was able to basically become versatile. So it's
Mm,
just It's gonna
Yeah.
be a plus for Man United if they were to get him. I have to say,
Okay.
which is why I wanted to keep him, man.
If
But we have
do, do you think for like United is similar to Dalot, or do you think it's better than Dalot?
no, I would say I think similar. I think similar. I don't want to be that arrogant, but I would say similar because they both can offer things going forward, and they both somewhat can offer something defensively. You know what I mean? Like I would say they're both decent. I wouldn't say they're both like amazing. You know what I mean? Like
Mm. Yeah, they're not amazing, but they're better than what
what they
United
got.
have
Yeah,
right now.
yeah. I would say Mizraoui would could replace Luke Shaw or Wan Bissaka. Like, you know what I mean? And I say Luke Shaw because the guy gets injured a lot. Because I know Luke Shaw when he plays at times it can be very good, but it's just one of those things. You know what I mean? But yeah, man.
Okay, fair. So anybody else you're looking like to let go of, or
So Arsenal were sniffing on Zane, but I think Zane will stay.
mm,
But I personally think that Zane needs to be performing because, by the way, I think regardless he'll stay. For me, it's like whatever. He stays, he stays. He goes, he goes. I mean, the guy gets paid 20 million a year, and we're looking to keep him, but getting rid of Delict. You see the inconsistency with the director. You know what I mean? It's like they move mad sometimes. But this is life as being a Bayern fan. You know, you have to deal with this for this, that for that. You know what I mean? It's just typical. But listen, Zane, he needs to perform, and if he doesn't, then I'm gonna start saying get rid. I'll be real. I think Coman, I think again, as I mentioned, I think Coman unbelievable, but he's not reliable enough, so he must go. As much as I hate to say that, Nabry, to be honest, it's crazy how he gets like 10 plus GA in the league despite getting injured so much. But again, his purple patches are crazy. He has to go as well. I think we just need to start trying new things. To be honest,
okay, new
um,
things, try new things, new season, new things, try it,
yeah,
and see what works.
yeah.
So you spoke a bit about it earlier, but expectations for the season. Of course, you spoke about maybe going for a treble. Of course, I think Champions League winning will be hard, but it depends who you face because, of course, you face four teams at home, four teams away. So
I think the final is going to be at the Allianz, which I mean we need to avenge our loss against you guys there.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Last time it
You
was
know,
at the
I can't. Me of all people is bringing it. It's not even you bring. I'm bringing it up. That's like how much I'm starting to set the. You know what I mean?
But
But
the thing is, you have to almost like if the final is in at your stadium. Last
we
time
need
there
to
was
make
a
it.
final at your stadium, we lost it. So surely, at least make the final. Make the final, and then if you make the final, you have to win because
Exactly. That's the problem. You know
you
what?
can't lose two finals at home in the Champions League.
I
That
know, bro. I know.
that's a record you don't want to have.
Well, you know the thing is, if that was to happen, what would happen is the Kane curse would be running wild again. I'm sick and tired of this Kane. You know what it is? I'm sick and tired of this Kane curse. Not because it's really only Kane. It's because it's at the expense of my club now. You know, it's like he joined and then randomly we lose everything. So it's like now everyone's like, "Oh, Kane damaged Bayern, this," and I'm like, we have bigger problems than Harry Kane, you know. So it's like come to a point. The more people talk on Kane, the more I want Kane to win, you know. No, but on a real though, I think we should be going for the treble. But for company to stay, if you win me the Bundesliga and you go far in the other comps, preferably win the Pokal, yes, you know he could stay. But the main for me, you ideally you should really be going for all of these three competitions. We are FC Bayern München. We're not you know, bums from the down barrels down below. You know what I mean? So
No,
we need to
you're
be
not
going
also
for
FC that throws cups away. You're not them. Come on now. You go. Actually,
But
you
we
go
shouldn't be.
first.
But we shouldn't be, bro. You know what I mean? Like this is the thing. We shouldn't be. I say this to Arsenal fans, and they don't get it, man. On our worst day, which funny enough was last season, we beat them on their best day because they don't take specific things serious, and then it comes to a stage where when you get to the big time, you talk all this crap. Excuse me, but you talk all that like stuff, and
Yeah,
then
no.
all of a sudden, it comes to a point where like we're now in your heads because you talk so much. Why
Yeah,
don't you
yeah,
just
yeah.
be humble and just
Especially in the
concentrate
players'
on your game?
heads, because it's like I'm gonna take an example of rugby. We played in the final this year at home, and we beat one of the best teams in the semi final at home. It
Mm-mm.
was like Madrid, it was like a Madrid of the rugby competition. We beat them at home in the semi final. Was a big thing. Um,
Mm-mm.
but there was so much media attention on this final about, oh, surely we weren't at home final. It's our second final of the in this competition. We at home, we're gonna win it. So the more you talk about the final and stuff like that, and not just talking about it's another game, it comes in the players' heads. But what if? What if? What if we don't win? What if I don't score a goal? Um,
Yeah,
so sometimes you just have to relax and say, calm it down. It's just
exactly,
like it's just
exactly.
another game. Of course, it's a big moment, but just another game. Game. We have to win it, and if we don't, we we are an embarrassment. Because if they beat you there 2-1 at the Emirates, I don't think it's maybe enough to go back to the Allianz Arena, but it's better than like a 2-2. So
Yeah,
yeah,
the thing is with Bayern, like I'm expecting like we compete for every. But I mean, with Bundesliga, we have to win it. Bundesliga is a given. You
yeah,
have to win and try to
you
win it.
have to
Yeah,
come on.
Bundesliga, like that first is non-negotiable. You must win. Pokal, I actually think even Pokal we should win. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I know we haven't won it in years, but the fact that Bayern is that club compared to everybody else, we should realistically be winning that too. Like it's not even just like focus on it and win it. But Champions League and try to make the final. I feel like because it's at the Allianz, man. We need to like try to avenge.
Mm,
I know I said if we make like go as far as possible, but now I'm deeping it. I can't lie. We actually have to go far in like everything, man. We have to go all guns blazing. But the thing is, I hope company takes it game by game. I hope that when he sees players not performing, he doesn't do the Tuchel thing where he picks his favorites. For example, Leroy Zane, as I mentioned last season, he was a favorite for Tuchel every single week. Zane. And he was not
mm,
performing. I hope with company immediately you don't perform, bench. Set an example. Bec- unless if you prove yourself, obviously, like if you're a Harry Kane, you're proving yourself week in week out. Obviously, then if you play one bad game, you really can't drop it. But if you're really putting in consistent stinkers for like let's say 2 games, at some stage you gotta drop. You know,
yeah, no, you
but
have to. Yeah.
just one of those things for me. I just hope company manages the
Mm,
squad to the point where he builds a good relationship with them, but he's also strict and he sets his boundaries with them because I feel like Tuchel didn't do that enough. I feel like he was trying to. He was either setting too much boundaries or he was not setting boundaries. Like he was extreme in two ways. He was not in the middle, and this is an issue. What I mean?
yeah.
I'm pretty sure you
Um.
experienced it, Chelsea.
Yeah. No, definitely with us, because I think it was with. It's sometimes it's with like the centre backs. Like they will keep starting one of them, and does not work. It does not. Um. But I think for us more, it's the players don't get it in enough games almost because it's
Yeah,
chop and change till something works.
exactly.
For
That's
us,
exactly
but
with us as well.
so
Change center
yeah,
backs every
but
week for us as well. Upamecano, Kim and Jay, then you have, it was a mess, bro. It was a mess. If I tell you the whole sequence, it'll be long. But
uh,
bro, the
but
only
for
positive when
me,
it came to youngsters that he done was once the only positive with youngsters he done is gave Pavlovich an opportunity. But that's it. But yeah, you can go on now.
my question, last question, or we'll wrap it up, is how much of the season is relies on company being good, and how much of the season relies on the players being good.
It has to be a mix of both. But obviously, the thing is, everybody's gonna look at the manager as the culprit because at the end of the day, the way that they're set up basically should be helping the players perform, right? So obviously the responsibility will be on the manager more so than the players, but it shouldn't be that heavy compared to the players. The players still must be performing. They still have to execute the plans that company will be providing, you
Yeah.
know?
Unless there's like no plan and you can see there's no plan, then
Yeah,
it's
pretty much. Like that's what it is. I think obviously the manager is gonna take more of the responsibility,
yeah,
obviously,
yeah.
because when you're the manager, it just is how it is. But at the end of the day, players should also be taking responsibility at the
Hmm.
same time to a degree. Because at the
No, they
end of the
have to.
day, when they don't perform, it makes the manager at times look bad. You know what I mean? Which is why sometimes you
Yeah.
get fans having inconsistent takes because every club has a situation, and
Mm.
this is how it is in
Uh,
football. But
it
it is
is.
what it is.
But we'll wrap it up on that note. Yeah, I think with Bayern Munich closing thoughts, you just if I think you'll have to back company for 2 seasons and then unless he's like lost the plot and he's not doing what he is supposed to do. But I need to start getting some of like the signings and managers right. You're
Yeah,
not in danger, but like you have to start clearing out, refresh because it's not 2020 anymore with Hansi Flick. Because I think he's still got loads of those players left. Like got Sane, Coleman, Gnabry, um,
well, that's
Kimmich,
okay. Yeah, you could
Kimmich,
say Neuer.
Neuer.
Yeah, but Neuer
Yeah,
still unbelievable. To be fair, I feel like he gets disrespected a lot. So,
yeah,
but
Neuer
it is
was.
what it is in football.
Yeah, but
It
I
is
think you just have to refresh if things doesn't work out this season for you guys. Um, but you've made some smart signings for Lise, and
I mean, yeah,
Palinia. So, and if you can get rid of a few of the guys that you spoke about, Gnabry, Coleman, or players that just is not working, Goretzka. I think you guys can have a good season. Again, for me, you have to get that Bundesliga back because if a Leverkusen does a back-to-back Bundesliga, that's when you know they are serious.
oh,
Because a
100%.
one-season Bundesliga, maybe lucky they were lucky, yeah. Um, just an off-season for Bayern. They do a back-to-back, then you know, okay, they're here to stay. They're here to stay.
The thing is,
That's
even
your point.
regardless, I think Leverkusen was serious though, because you don't go invincible without being serious. I'll be honest. Like,
Yeah, true,
it
true.
was a case for me
They're
where like
invincible.
if we beat Leverkusen, at least compete to win, right? But like we had to win at the
Yeah.
end of the day. But the fact that we didn't win, it's like even not competing makes it even worse. You know what I mean? So
Mm.
that's why
Yeah.
I'm giving Leverkusen credit. You know what I mean? That's how much I give them credit. It's the fact that they actually had an unreal season. I actually think their invincible run's better than Arsenal's anyway. So that's how serious they are.
That's all another topic to get into, but yeah. We'll move. So yeah, man. But yeah, bro, yeah, for hopping on. Of course, I know you are traveling. So thanks for hopping on. Quickly shout out your socials, man. Where can the people find you?
So first of all, you can find me actually. I didn't even add it here, but I will add it if I could. Is there a chance I can add? Because there was another thing I needed to add on the. How do I add the? Well, actually, I'll just say it. So they have Zero Talks obviously on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, and you can also go on X. But I don't really use X too or Twitter too much. I am also at the Bayern View as well, which is not really my
Mm-hmm.
channel, but I do contribute a lot here and there in that channel. So you can check the Bayern View out. And it's where we talk about Bayern news. We have a couple of shows that just started over there. I'm involved in one of them. So if you want to find me out, you can see me on either Zare Talks on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, or you can check me on the Bayern View on YouTube. That's where you can
Okay.
find me, man.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'll add it all in the description, and we'll add Bayern View as well there. Be up to him as well for as he is to regular with the Bayern content. So yeah. As for me, you guys probably know. Do make sure to like and subscribe right here, right now, if you're still watching. Um, And then, yeah, socials, Instagram, Hannah underscore coach underscore corner, Twitter, Hanu 70830030, or just Hanu underscore coach corner on Twitter. That's the easiest, probably. Then TikTok, coach corner one. Links are in the description if you want to check that out. And yeah, we'll be bringing more types of these videos in the coming days. You will see after this video is posted if you're watching it right now. But after this video, I will have a video out on Mr. Some say Mr. Chelsea. I don't say that. Uh, the yeah, the English Goretzka in Conor Gallagher, with a reference to Ahmad. But I think Goretzka is a much better player. So
I think they're
yeah.
both linked to the same club, by the way, for your information. Goretzka is linked to Atletico just like Gallagher, am I correct? I mean, I know Goretzka, but you guys was the same thing, right? With
Yeah,
Atletico
yeah,
Madrid at one
he's
point?
going to. He needs to go there ASAP. So yeah, if you're watching this video first, then yeah, so go watch that one then, people, and then see you all in a bit. Cheers.